show you how to do a G-body Antiroll right here. This is a TRZ kit. You can kind of see it's got the billet arms, everything. So what we'll do is we'll actually cut this bar first. You can see we've got the sides already angle cut. We'll cut it, get it fit to the car, and then we'll go ahead and, before we put the bar up in the car, we'll test fit it, and then we'll go ahead and stick these brackets on. And we'll show you where it goes in the car. Push. Alright, so he's got the brackets welded on, you can see. Get that in some light. Always weld both sides, just to give it a little bit more strength. I'll show you the other side. Like I said, that's TIG welded on both ends. And we already got the bar angle cut, so now all we got to do is get ready. Now we'll take the bar and get it put up in the car, and then get it actually welded into the car. And then we'll get everything set, and we can actually bolt this piece back up. Once you make tiers 2, you put some grease in them before you put them on the car. You can grease them when they're on the car, that's what the fitting's for. But I always put grease up in them before you bolt it back together. All right, we'll get this thing prepped ready. So basically this is where our bar's gonna sit. We just cleaned all the metal around it. Same thing on this side. Just get everything clean and ground down so you can make a good weld on it. And then we'll get the bar fit in there and get it tacked in place and check it, make sure everything's square.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right, so we got the bar in. You see, we just moved it to the edge. I said it's mild steel frame anyway, so it's not really that important that it has to be tigged on that part. But also, when you put these things in, always remember, this thing should be free. If it's like jammed up, you can't move it like that or whatever, it's not gonna work good. So just try to remember that this thing should, once you get this thing installed, it should turn really freely. All right, so we got everything done on that. Like I said, I just want to show you, like I said, this is basically how it attaches to the rear end. This rear end already had links on it, so we just was able to bolt it right back up. But kind of the purpose of this bar, just kind of give people the younger guys that don't really know, why you put these on here and what purpose they serve. So basically, a lot of G-bodies kind of, you see the videos, everybody's talking about them. They're all cars all leaned over, kind of geeked up to the side. So that's basically what this is for. It kind of takes a lot of that body roll out of the car, mainly just a drag application, but it takes the body roll out of the car. And then also, if you got a car that's driving, toward the center line, or you got a car that's driving toward the outside, you can adjust a lot of that out with this. It's just a helpful tool. Every car, minimum, if you're running an 850 car, I mean, you really need to put an Antiroll bar on it, just because, it does help with the tuning of the car. So just that's just something you want to add to. But that's pretty much install on G-body. That's not too bad of a job, but hopefully that helps y'all if you're trying to do it yourself, gives you some ideas on how to do it. All right, so that wraps everything up on the Antiroll bar install. I want to show you too, just kind of, you know, before we took the car off the lift, these G-bodies, something that's kind of important to do. They call it a frame brace kit. You can buy them. We build all of ours, but basically on these cars here, they're really bad if you know, once you start putting some power to them, you start hooking them up, you know, hooking the tire, it will bend this pocket. You know, they make torque box kits for the upper boxes. They also make a lower box, you know, torque box kit, but you don't have to do that on a car, you know, if you're not planning on really running that fast. But I do recommend, if you're gonna be doing any type of race on a slick, radial, whatever it may be, is to tie this lower control arm to something. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you look right here, these frames, they're full frames, but they're just channeled. So what happens is, over time, and you beat on these cars, it'll twist this frame rail up. And then once you twist this frame rail up, it's a pain in the ass to do anything with it. You have to basically, you know, not necessarily put it on a frame machine, but you got to pull everything back down and get it squared back up if you want to fix it. But so just to keep that from happening, just always try to tie this in. You know, either if you buy a kit or, you know, do it yourself, just tie that together, and it'll keep a lot of that happening. And they, like I said, they have different kits. This is one we did. You don't have to. You can see here, it's got the bar that goes side to side. Like I said, we TIG weld them all in. You can look. You don't necessarily have to go all the way up to the front. Like this one will get a cross member instead of the factory cross member. We'll actually build a cross member for the transmission off of this, and we'll do two little kickers off to the frame. But just something to remember. Like I said, do that. Even if you don't do the ones that go all the way to the front, just get this main rear crossbar, get that piece put in there, and tie them lower control arms together. That way it saves you from having to fix it later on down the road. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I wanted to show that just because a lot of these cars we have to fix a lot of them. And that'll save you a lot of headache in the future. Even if you don't put a lot of cage in it, it's just going to save you a lot of headache down the road. So that's just something to keep in mind, you know, when you're doing that. Just keep that in there.